Joe here. Today, we're going to unbox and build a Form 3 FormLabs 3D resin printer. Very excited to have this in our San Francisco studio. We have one in our San Jose location, but now that we have a space in San Francisco, why not set up a double shop? Now, this is the Form 3 desktop SLA 3D printer. Resin compatible. We've been able to print some really cool things on it using hard materials, soft materials that are almost like silicone in our other location, but now that we have a space in SF, we're going to set this up too. Join me as I unbox, set it up, hopefully demystify some things about 3D printing along the way. Let's open it up and see what's inside this big box. For safety purposes, I'm going to open this up on the floor. Might have gotten a little too excited, but safety first always. Be back in a second. And we're back. So, got this guy out of the box finally. Time to take this plastic wrapping off. And now, the big reveal. Wow, this is beautiful. I almost don't want to take off the protective covering yet. We'll leave that on for last. But this is the printer. For setup purposes, I am going to put this back on just so I don't scratch it up as I'm setting up the other things. Next, the Form Pure. Again, it has this orthographic line drawing, which is very informative. You can see exactly what you're getting in the box, which I really love. Always make sure to close your X-Acto when you're hiding it, because you don't want to get hurt. So the Cure also comes with some pamphlets, some safety instructions, some setup instructions. We'll get into those in a bit once we have things set up. And this is the power bank, and then this is the wall adapter. Here we have the Cure. Flip it around in the front, you have a little knob. This is also the plate that goes on the inside. The prints rest on this plate and it rotates almost like a microwave. So think of it quite simply, a microwave for your prints, so that way they're well cooked and ready for you to test out. Now that we have the Cure on the table, let's get the washer on the table too. The same thing, very typical of FormLabs, they have this orthographic drawing, so you can identify what it is exactly in the box. Apart from the name, you do have Form Wash on the top, so this lets you know that this is the washer. In the washer, there's going to be rubbing alcohol, and rubbing alcohol essentially just gets all that goopy stuff off so your print is ready to cure. So you don't want any goopy things curing on your print, obstructing the surface and the general form. Little power cord, wall adapter. You have some snippers to clean your prints, and then you also have this lever. Instruction manual. One of my favorite 3D printing tools, the scraper. This is great for getting prints off the plate. This one doesn't feel too sharp. The metal does look fairly uniform all the way around, you can see. So no sharp edges. I think they do this to minimize the damage to the print plate inside of the actual printer. Personally, I do prefer something that's a little more angled so you can get under that print, especially if you have something delicate. You don't want a super blunt object going into it and then potentially breaking it. Even though resin is really strong, it does have the potential to break, even if it is, you know, a harder material. Have a little power adapter, so that way you can plug it directly into the washer. here's our washer. Has a little tank on the inside. You can place your things in there. Gonna grab a few more things to open up so that way our setup is complete, and then we can officially set up our workstation. You're gonna wanna have a nice streamlined workspace, so once we get everything opened and set up, we're gonna arrange the space so that way when we print things, it's nice and easy to just drop it into the washer, double check if you need to wash it again, sometimes it does, and then you can toss it into the cure, and then it's just almost like an assembly line. I really love how Formlabs has this orthographic illustration on every box, so you know that it's a different type of product, you know how to differentiate it, especially if your boxes are strewn about the office unopened. We have a finish kit. So the build platform actually lives on top of the printer, and if you've never seen a Formlabs 3D printer, with resin especially, it builds from the bottom up. So there's a tank at the bottom, you'll see later in the setup, and this build plate will literally dip into it, and then the parts that are supposed to be your print cure onto the plate and build off of that. So instead of an extrusion, it's a curing process, which tends to be much stronger, hence why resin is a more durable material to print with. And then we also have the resin cartridge, which lives in the back of the printer. And what the tank does is loads that resin into it, and then this stays as an external reservoir, whereas this is your internal reservoir. And you have to leave this guy open so that way air flows through it. Otherwise it'll build up and then squeeze, and then you open it, it compresses, there's bubbles. Not a good look. And it comes with this really nice leveling disc, so if your printer for whatever reason is a little lopsided, you can use this to adjust. It does look like there's some teeth in there, so that'll probably be able to grip the feet that are on the bottom of the printer and then straighten it out as needed. And of course the printer is smart enough where it will let you know that it needs to be straightened. Starting up. Okay, got the LPU sticker off and the latches are back on safely. You have to have this on if you're transporting it, so just caution, be careful there. Gonna get this printer leveled and I will be right back. Next, we're gonna install the resin tank. This is the mixer for the tank reservoir. It essentially just makes sure there's no bubbles within it. Next up is the build plate. We have our cartridge. It is a photopolymer resin, which means it cures in UV essentially. And I believe this resin is called Draft Resin B2. For prototyping purposes, it is excellent. It gets the job done, it's very easy to sand, and the finish looks really nice, especially if you want to spray paint something over it or maybe add some sort of a finish to it. Gotta mix up the resin first. Now that we have our washer and cure set up, we can set up the finish kit, which will live between the printer and the washer. I like to use it in between because if I have a sticky print, I have a reliable surface to put it onto until I'm able to clean it, wash it, and cure it. Ideally, you don't want to leave it there for too long because the resin will start to cure and it'll have a sticky texture. The more you use a 3D printer, the more you find that the sticky texture is synonymous with leaving it out or leaving it in the sun before you're able to clean and cure it. Form 3 finish kit. Much like the other Form 3 FormLabs printer set, it has this nice orthographic illustration, so you can tell what it is just from looking at the outside of the box.